Speed has always dominated the car world. But not every legend earns its place by being the fastest. Some cars become unforgettable for different reasons. Because they dared to be strange. Because they saved a brand. Because they changed how people felt about driving. These are the cars that became legends. Not because of speed, but because of what they represented. 10. Plymouth Prowler. The Plymouth Prowler was one of the boldest production cars of the 1990s, created to revive the spirit of classic American hot rods. This model was introduced in 1997. It stood apart big time from everything else on the road with its exposed front wheels, long nose, and retro-futuristic design. Beneath the dramatic styling was modern engineering, an aluminum-intensive chassis, double wishbone suspension, and a rear-mounted transaxle for better weight distribution. Power came from a 3.5-liter V6 producing up to 253 horsepower, paired with an automatic transmission, controversial for a car that looked like a street racer. The Prowler was never about raw speed. Instead, it represented creative freedom at a time when automotive design was becoming conservative. Though commercially limited, the Prowler became a cult classic, remembered not for performance numbers, but for daring to be different. 9. Fiat 124 Spider. The Fiat 124 Spider didn't try to impress anyone with speed. It didn't need to. Designed by Pininfarina, the Spider was light, elegant, and approachable. It delivered just enough power to be fun, paired with a chassis that encouraged relaxed, joyful driving. In an era dominated by muscle cars and X's, the 124 Spider offered something different: balance and charm. It became a cultural symbol of European freedom, especially in the United States, coastal roads, and open skies. Its legacy isn't measured in lap times, it's measured in smile. 8. Toyota MR2. Mid-engine sport cars were supposed to be exotic, expensive, untouchable. Toyota changed that. The MR2 brought mid-engine balance to everyday drivers. Lightweight, precise handling, and reliability that defied stereotypes. It wasn't the fastest car on the road, but it felt special every time you turned the wheel. Toyota didn't sell a status symbol, they sold an experience. And for many drivers, the MR2 was their first taste of true driver-focused engineering, something that stayed with them long after the car was gone. 7. Ferrari Mondial. The Ferrari Mondial is often remembered as the slow Ferrari. That reputation missed the point entirely. The Mondial wasn't built to be a supercar. It was designed to be a usable Ferrari, with 4 seats, a practical layout, and long-distance comfort. It represented Ferrari's attempt to expand beyond weekend toys and create something people could actually live with. And today, that makes it special. The Mondial became a legend not because it was the best Ferrari, but because it showed that Ferrari was willing to evolve even at the risk of criticism. 6. Mercedes-Benz 190e Evolution. At first glance, the Mercedes 190e looked like a banker's car, but beneath its conservative exterior was a machine built for motorsport. The Evolution models were homologation specials, precision-engineered weapons designed to dominate touring car racing. They weren't about straight-line speed, they were about control, stability, and endurance. The 190e proved that performance didn't need aggression. This car laid the foundation for modern AMG philosophy, where engineering speaks louder than noise. 5. Porsche 924. The Porsche 924 is one of the most misunderstood cars in the brand's history. Front engine, water-cooled, modest power. Purists called it not a real Porsche. And yet, the 924 saved the company. It was introduced in 1976 at a time when Porsche was struggling financially and urgently needed a more affordable model. Originally developed for Volkswagen, the 924 featured a front-mounted engine and rear-mounted transaxle gearbox, giving it near perfect weight, distribution, and excellent handling. Its modest 2.0-liter 4-cylinder engine was not about outright speed, but the 924 was never meant to be a straight-line performance car. Its importance was strategic. It brought new customers to Porsche and helped secure the company's future. Without the 924, there would have been no 944 or 928, and possibly no modern Porsche at all. Its genius wasn't speed, it was accessibility. Without the 924, the Porsche story might have ended very differently. 4. Datsun 300 GX. The Datsun 300 GX didn't chase raw power, it chased innovation. The Datsun 300 GX marked Japan's arrival as a serious force in the global sports car world. Introduced in 1983, it was designed to replace the aging 280 GX and to challenge European rivals on their own terms. The first generation G31 featured advanced technology for its time, including available digital dashboards and electronically adjustable suspension. Power came from a 3.1-liter V6, with turbocharged versions pushing performance well beyond expectations. In 1989, the second generation G32 raised the bar even higher with a sleek, wind-tunnel tested body and a twin-turbo V6 producing up to 300 horsepower. The 300 GX wasn't just fast, it was refined, reliable, and usable every day. It proved that a Japanese sports car could combine performance, technology, and quality, earning its place as a true modern classic. 3. Pontiac Fiero. The Pontiac Fiero was America's bold experiment in the 1980s, a mid-engine sport car disguised as an ordinary compact. Introduced in 1984, it was initially marketed as an economical, fuel-efficient car, but its engineering secretly pushed the boundaries. The Fiero featured a rear-mounted engine and lightweight space frame chassis, innovations rarely seen in mass-market cars. Early models struggled with reliability and perception, but as Pontiac improved suspension, engines, and safety, the Fiero revealed its true potential. It could handle like a sports car while still looking like an everyday commuter. Today, the Fiero is celebrated not for raw speed, but for its ingenuity, daring design, and the fact that it brought exotic car architecture to ordinary Americans, decades before mid-engine layouts became mainstream. 2. Mazda MX-5. The Mazda MX-5 doesn't need defending. It wasn't fast, it wasn't luxurious, it wasn't high-tech. The Mazda MX-5, introduced in 1989, is one of the most beloved roadsters in automotive history. And for good reason. It wasn't about raw power or flashy technology, it was about pure driving joy. Lightweight, perfectly balanced, and rear-wheel drive, the MX-5 revived the classic British roadster formula with modern reliability. Its 1.6 and later 1.8-liter engines weren't record-breaking, but every gear change, turn, and corner felt connected and alive. Mazda intentionally focused on simplicity, precision, and affordability, making the experience accessible to everyday drivers. Over the decades, the MX-5 has sold over 1 million units worldwide, inspiring countless enthusiasts. Its legend isn't built on speed alone, it's built on how it makes people feel behind the wheel, proving that fun doesn't need to be complicated. 1. Mustang GT SN95. Sometimes being a legend means knowing when not to change too much. The Mustang GT SN95, produced from 1994 to 2004, wasn't radical reinvention, but it was a quiet evolution that preserved the Mustang's identity while modernizing for a new era. With a 4.6-liter V8 producing up to 205 horsepower in later GT models, it offered respectable performance, but its legend isn't defined by speed alone. What made the SN95 special was how it balanced tradition and progress. Refined suspensions, improved handling, and updated styling gave it the fresh presence without losing the Mustang spirit. For a generation of drivers, it was an accessible American muscle car that still felt visceral and authentic. The SN95 proves that sometimes being legendary isn't about breaking records. It's about sustaining a myth while moving forward. None of these cars were defined by speed. They were defined by purpose, timing, and emotion. They took risks, they challenged expectations, they mattered. And that's why we remember them. Because in the end, legends aren't built on speed alone, they were built on stories. Thanks for watching.